Welcome to Rebel Watch, an all Star Wars podcast.
Hey, what are you trying to push on us?
Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly.
So, Mike, let's just hop into this. What have you been thinking about recently? You know, Star Wars wise.
Well, the same thing for the past 3 weeks.
Okay.
Is this the final Skywalker installment? I've been wondering that for a long time. I see everyone posting on their Facebook, "Oh, this is the last one." Shut up.
You don't think so?
And then I see
What'd you see?
Star Wars come from the depths of the internet because they haven't really been posting much.
Yeah.
And they say the final Skywalker installment.
Wow.
And I just sat there. There's no way. There's no way. And there's something else that's happening right now.
Okay.
So episode 9's wrapping up filming.
Yep.
Every single star of the trilogy is, this is crazy. It's so crazy. They're really emphasizing that this is their last, shot at this, and that it's the last time they'll be together. The last this, last that.
Right.
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it.
I think they're either leading us up to a two-parter, or it's like, hey, we'll be back in 10 years.
Is this the end game? Is this what?
Probably a bold title.
They're foreshadowing. They're foreshadowing the title.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, all right, friends, welcome to Rebel Watch. There we go. I guess that's what we're talking about today. See, we never know, and it's a good thing that we have some special guests to, talk with us about that, because I'm with you. I've been wondering whether it's the end or not. I haven't really heard anything. That kind of, now if you're telling me that it's final,
it's official.
I mean, whatever. So we do have a couple friends, though, who are kind of probably witnessing this, this awesome intro that we provide here at Rebel Watch.
Yeah.
Going, what in the hell is going on?
Are they still there? Maybe they're not.
Alyce, Laura,
are you guys still there?
You guys there? Can you hear us?
No, we bailed.
Yes.
They're gone.
I like how we're on the same page. We're always on the same page.
Yeah, we never disagree about anything, ever.
No.
Good. Good.
That's why the alcohol helps too.
Yeah, everyone's more agreeable with, 5 or 6 glasses.
The spirits.
Of Pinot Grigio,
Yeah.
Agreed.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, so these ladies are from a podcast called Force Toast Pod. Did I get that right?
Yes,
Toast
our
podcast.
show is called Force Toast, a Star Wars happy hour, and we are a brand new podcast that launched on February 5th.
Epic.
Did I say something different? What did I say?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, Force Toast Pod is our Twitter handle.
Okay,
We have to add in a Star Wars happy hour because people have been asking us if we eat toast or make toast, or
Holy cow.
they've been asking us a lot about bread. So
Are you kidding me?
It's not like you guys have a loaf of bread on your logo.
logo.
I mean, that'd actually be kind of funny, but
Wow.
yeah,
So dumb.
yeah.
huh.
At least 3
Interesting.
times I think we've gotten that already, just in the past week.
Wow. Okay.
That's crazy.
That is great. Well, you guys are, this is something, gosh, Laura, it was a couple months ago I saw you were posting about a new upcoming podcast. You put me in this Twitter list, and I was like, holy smokes, this is cool. Who is this that's doing all this Star Wars goodness out there? And so we looked into it and saw that you're starting a podcast, and we're always looking to collaborate and meet new Star Wars friends. So this did start a while back, though, didn't it? Have you guys been thinking about this for a while, starting the podcast?
Only a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey,
We've been
Wow.
working on this for a really, really long time. Yeah. But yeah, I started what I hope will someday be an all-encompassing Twitter list that people can subscribe to of all the Star Wars podcasts. It's comically long at this point. But
great.
It's been really, it's been really it's been kind of helpful. It's nice to go in and be able to see that version of a timeline that's got everybody in it and see what people are talking about, and it's been sort of helpful for me. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been a long time coming. We recorded a bunch of episodes last summer and had to re-record some, and we did a lot of arguing back and forth about what the show is going to be and not be, and it's just been quite a journey. But we're really excited to have launched it at this time. I feel like it's been it was a really good time to do this. It just lots of things sort of fell into place and it worked out, and but it has been a long time coming. Here we are.
Finally, yay.
That's great. Were you thinking a different franchise or just kind of what you wanted to? Because Ez is, I don't know if you guys know, he gets around in the podcast.
Yes.
He's in all realms.
I haven't talked Lord of the Rings in so long.
Oh, well, I have a ban on all Lord of the Rings discussion on this podcast. So
you'll have to take that. About it.
Yeah.
In high school, my friends and I used to write notes in Elvish. So.
Wow.
That sounds like that should
over
go on
my
talking
head.
Tolkien.
That's
that was
wild.
really hard.
Man.
That's deep and sweaty right there. That's for sure. But yeah, so now I was thinking, because you guys are from Chicago, when you heard the news that Celebration was going to be there, that would be a I don't know, motivator to get after it and get it going before Celebration. Was that kind of a factor?
No, our motivation was, let's book the hotel that's hooked into the convention center immediately.
God. It's lucky.
That's what happened when we first got in, because we've been to McCormick a few times and it is a pain to get there.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, have fun with that. So, we kind of started it, and then we got busy, and then it took us a while. And I think the hardest thing was logo and artwork. That just took so long to sort out. Theme song, easy. Figuring out the recording and stuff, kind of easy. Sometimes we have to re-record because we drink too much. But
been there.
Other than that, and then I took a little Star Wars break for a while, and then finally we just sat and said, okay, we need to just go for it. So
I think we need to come back to that.
I've got to ask, what was it? The Raylo,
what
theories
happened?
That.
I don't know.
Oh no, I think it was just burnout, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's entitled to it.
Yeah. No, I feel you, because we started doing kind of a part-time Star Wars discussion on a separate channel before The Last Jedi happened, and it was a much more it was a better time to be discussing Star Wars, and then it just got dark.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a better
mean.
time to be a fan and just be involved in the fandom at all before The Last Jedi. It went really dark there for a while. I feel that.
Yeah. But I think we're overcoming that now. Everyone feels a little more comfortable to talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, you almost couldn't bring it up out in just in friendly conversation without getting your head bit off there for a while. And I was like, wow, are we talking about the same thing? What's going on? But I don't know. Yeah, it's nice that we can all converse now. And Celebration, we're optimistic. Episode 9 on its way. So
Clone Wars saved.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah. Now that actually was there was some good stuff there. I think that was maybe it was some of the direction or whatever, just some of the choices that Disney was making that maybe has sort of turned people. There's some good stuff, I think, coming up, projects that they're working on, or slowing things down versus, air quote, slowing things down, by the way. I don't know when that's going to happen, but so I don't know. Okay, other things we need to know, though, about these ladies before we discuss episode 9 and is it the final Skywalker installment?
You got some questions.
They probably think we're crazy for even asking that question. Do you think we're crazy for asking that question? Because, let's save it.
We'll save it.
Let's save it because Mike has a very bold opinion on what he thinks is going to happen at the very end of episode 9. So we'll talk about that. But we need to know what, Mike? We need to know favorite Star Wars character, movie, lightsaber color.
Yeah, the basics.
Are they into Mandalorians or not?
Yeah, because if they are,
we might have to end the podcast. Oh, just kidding. But no, let's start with
good. Okay,
really?
We can continue.
I think I thought I heard you guys when you were talking about Mandalorian in episode 3. You guys were kind of saying that. Oh gosh, maybe Laura, was it you that was talking about just Sabine and you like the Clone Wars bit of it, or maybe that was Alyce. I can't remember. But that how you felt about Mandalorians, because Mike and I are not huge Mandalorian fans. We just don't know much about it, but I'm excited for the show still. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we'll see. I need to be wild, I feel like, because we were questioning if it was going to be a real Mandalorian. I think because, Laura, what is it you said? They seem to be a little isolationist and keep to their plans or whatever.
Yeah, that seemed to be the case in the Clone Wars, and even I guess a little bit when we saw that in Rebels, that they're just kind of like isolationist people where they kind of just deal with their own wars and their own crap all the time and don't really seem to branch out much. But I actually did really enjoy the Mandalorian arcs in the Clone Wars. I enjoy Sabine Wren fine as a character. I don't care for Boba Fett at all. I don't get the appeal at all. But I'm really looking forward to the Mandalorian, to this Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni project. I think this is going to be great. I really like the work that they've done in the past, and I'm excited for this. I think Alyce is definitely a little more skeptical. I'm ready to just be like pumped for it to be awesome, and Alyce is like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I'll wait and see.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Well, Mike told me, was this last week or something? You were saying that that they're saying that the Mandalorian feels very much like the originals.
Yeah.
And anytime you hear that, I'm just sort of like, let's go.
Yeah.
Sign me up. So that's kind of what got me fired up for it. I'm not a huge Mandalorian person as well, and I don't really know what's gonna take place. But once I heard that they were going for this vibe or this feel, I felt better about it, I guess. So,
I'm just tired of sand planets, man. Like,
yeah.
True.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to send them the photo. The episode 9. While we're chatting here, Mike, ask them. Let's get through some of our favorites.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna send you ladies a photo. We broke down a photo before we get into the episode 9 discussion. I just need to send it to them real quick.
Yeah.
Is it the
Very
J.J.
important.
Abrams one? Because we can pull it up.
It is, but there's something special about it. Okay, I don't think it literally took our own insiders, breaking it down. I hate to say that, hate to be that
potential
way,
spoilers,
but oh, okay. But yeah, favorite character.
Favorite character, even maybe favorite Jedi.
Ooh,
yeah.
okay.
I am a proud prequel enthusiast.
Come on.
Okay.
Okay. I know everyone gives me that. I love Attack of the Clones. It is my favorite movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's
I
go.
love it. And I'm wondering if part of it might be because I used to do a lot of babysitting, and there was this family of 3 children who I'd watch all the time. And every time I'd come over, they'd just be like, Alyce, can we watch Attack of the Clones? Like, can you put in the DVD? I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
So every time I went over, Attack of the Clones it was. But because of my prequel lovingness, prequel era, Obi-Wan would be my favorite
Nice.
character easily. And then favorite color lightsaber is going to be white because Ahsoka kicks ass as well.
Let's go.
Wow. Now I have a question. So is it, you said favorite? So Obi-Wan would be your favorite character overall, or favorite just Jedi, or favorite character overall?
Ooh, I think I'm comfortable saying overall.
Overall,
go.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, solid. Okay, Laura, favorite character? I think I know your favorite character. Can I guess?
Oh wow, this is
Yeah,
really
mine's probably pretty
creepy.
easy to guess if you've heard some of our other material. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I get okay? Because Mike's just
Go ahead and ask her favorite color too.
Hey,
Ez.
Mike
Maybe
thinks I'm a creep now.
her
Jiminy
birthday, you
Christmas.
wanna guess
I
that
listen
too?
to the podcast, man. Okay,
kidding.
like
Wait, I kind of like this, having Ez guess everybody's favorite.
This is
Oh,
a
good
great
grief.
It's not
game.
creepy.
This is a
I'm
good
flattered,
icebreaker.
100%.
okay.
Every time he gets it wrong, he
guys.
drinks a psychopathy.
Perfect.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. No, I'm a 2 beers guy and I'm done. So I mean, just but no, is it Harrison Dula?
That's my favorite character. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a
Nice.
big Star Wars
See?
Rebels
Nice.
fan, so that's
awesome.
my Star Wars of choice. I love the sequel trilogy too. Funny enough, Alyce and I went to a trivia not too long ago that was just original trilogy. The original trilogy is not either one of our favorite trilogies at all, and so but we still won, so we still have love for
nice.
it, and we still it's not like it just because it's not our favorite doesn't mean we don't care for it. We do love it still, but the
Nice.
I think for me, Star Wars Rebels is my favorite Star Wars. Harrison Dula is my favorite character. Kanan Jarrus is naturally my favorite Jedi. He's
Let's
the
go.
character
Wow.
I think that I felt the most. I was able to relate to him very much when we first met him as a character. I was just sort of in my role of work where I was sort of having to take on a direct report for the first time. I found him just very relatable in that sense, in terms of my resistance of having to do that and then trying to find my way as someone's mentor essentially was really hard for me. So I related to his story really well, and I that's I think just a big part of why I really love Star Wars Rebels and still do. My lightsaber color, I think I'm gonna go with just classic blue. Although white is a good answer. Ahsoka was my first Star Wars novel that I read, and so that
Nice.
I've got love for that too. But yeah, those are awesome questions. I like that as a good intro for me. It's pretty much all just it's Rebels for me.
Yeah.
Now at the end of Rebels, when Caleb Dune just bit the big one, I mean, were you a wreck? I mean, I know I was.
We were tearing up.
Yeah, Alyce is a witness to this. It was pretty brutal. I really love the end of Star Wars Rebels, and I love how Kanan went out because I think it was definitely time. There really wasn't any other place for his story to go that would make any sense story wise. So I really like how they did it, and that's I think why I have such full trust for Episode 9. I have so much trust in the Lucasfilm story. I grew up to pull this off like in a really really epic way. That's gonna. That hopefully is going to get me the same way that the Rebels finale did. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty rough. I still I've only gone back and rewatched some of those last episodes a few times. It's like, it's too hard for me to actually sit and watch it again. It's just too emotional, but yeah. Oh, I think we just got this picture that you guys sent.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
I told you there's potential spoilers there. So
yeah, so hold on to that because
carefully.
we're going to come back to that. That is, we got some wild stuff going on there.
After hearing these comments, all my questions just change.
Me too.
I feel like
Me
this
too.
isn't even an Episode 9 discussion.
It's not right now. Like,
it's a post-Rebels.
We'll have to do a part
world.
2, maybe. Because right now, what he wants to ask you is about the gateway, right?
Yeah, I feel like they're never going to tie it into the main saga line, but okay, if this is the end, then let's blow our minds with things like Rebels and Ezra's story and Thrawn. Then let's go that direction. Screw Episode 9.
They're not going to know, but it would be. I mean, it's what we have wanted for a while to talk to some other folks about that Rebels ending. Have you guys had a chance to talk to anybody about that? I mean, I know you talk to each other, but like what happened with what is it called? The world between worlds?
Between worlds, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a big problem with that episode because it was so close after the Kanan death that when I sat and watched that episode, I was just like, I was just mad. I think I was still going through like the stages of grieving, and I was in the angry stage, and I sat and watched that episode, and I was like, what is this time travel? This is garbage. This doesn't make any sense. I don't know why they're bringing this into the canon. This is a bad idea. And it was, I was just like infuriated at the time. And now I want to actually go back and watch it because I feel like I might actually be more open-minded about it and enjoy it more. But I just was I was just too sad. I was too sad to be able, able to handle it. I was just like, how could they just carry on the story without Kanan? Why are we just moving on? This is terrible.
They don't mourn too much in Star Wars. It's, a whole planet, is exterminated, and we move on.
One person batted an eye,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm kidding. No, but so, Ezra, though, at one point almost has a chance to save Kanan there, right?
I bet you're just screaming at the television at that point. Bring it back.
Exactly. Why we can save Ahsoka, but we can't save Kanan.
That was part of his development.
Yeah, it's part of his. I get it, but I don't know. Like, what all can we do in that world?
It's a powerful moment.
Can we
But here's the thing: they could have saved Kanan in the moment when Kanan sacrificed himself, and what did he do? He just put out his other hand to stop him.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have saved him in the moment.
It was emotional.
It was emotional.
It was so
but,
good.
It was the score too. It was everything about that. Is one of the top moments of Star Wars.
Oh, 100%. Agreed.
Right, in all aspects. It's one of the top moments.
Yeah. It was by far the most emotional thing I've ever witnessed in Star Wars for me. It was great. And I agree. The score was just it was next level in a way that I can't even describe. I loved it. Yeah, it was a great episode, and that was a great component of it. But I really do need to go back and watch World Between Worlds because I do have a lot of affection for Ahsoka as a character, and I just couldn't focus on it at all. And so I'd like to actually go back and pay more attention to it and things like that. It was great how they brought in the quote, like people from the original trilogy and the. I guess even the prequels and the sequel trilogy, like you could hear people speaking in the world. It was just a great episode. I can see from a distance. I just need to go back and watch it more closely and see how I actually react to it now that I've had some time.
Yeah, that was a lot to break down whenever one took apart those audio clips, like second by second by second.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, when you do that, when you get a chance to go back, maybe even in the summertime after celebration or something, we would love to have like a roundtable discussion, deep and sweaty, about that, because we had several episodes where Mike and I were just blown away by the whole end of Rebels. I could not believe how that finished and just how well it finished.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things in Star Wars. I mean, it's like
really
crazy
is.
to say that, but it's like, it just has some really solid moments. Now, a funny story though. While we're talking about
Kanan dying.
yeah.
I know. This is great.
I made a big mistake. I spoiled it for a lot of the internet out there.
Clickbait.
Shame on you.
I accidentally at midnight did a little clip art, situation. Did we get 50,000 some odd down? Yeah, we did. But were they all hate?
Absolutely.
As to why I accidentally put on there just Kanan dies. No one had seen.
Did you say the death of Caleb Dune or something like that?
I think I said the death of. Yeah, it wasn't exactly
Yeah.
But it was the clip art of him with the blue flame, and
But Disney did that too. Because on their YouTube clip or whatever, they spoiled it too as well.
Yeah, they kind of did, and so did So, anyways, it was just this huge black mark on Rebel Watch, and it's all my fault, and it has to do with Kanan.
I mean, people commenting saying, "I really used to like these guys, but
they're spoiling stuff here." Like the hours after it had been released, we're on there like talking about it. I'm like, we didn't mention spoilers or anything. We just started going
because we were blown away.
We were blown away, yeah. And people were just like, "Wait, what happened? I haven't even seen the episode yet." So. Lesson learned there.
Oh,
but
I'm so sorry. That really stinks. But you have a good point. Like Star Wars did it too, or Disney. I think it was Disney XD's YouTube channel. Like, I mean, within hours had like a tribute video up. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, give it a few hours,
they did.
guys.
Yeah,
that was actually Ez too. He runs the Disney XD channel. So he was ruining lives.
I have a lot of questions for you then. We need a separate talk.
Gosh. Man, I actually think I stole their clip art, actually, because I think I used the exact same. I mean, you could just go through on the screen and catch the same thing, but I used something like that gray logo that they had.
Oh, it's genius.
Whatever. It's like it's there. I'm going to use it. Who cares? But anyways, that's just side note. All right, let's move on, though. Let's talk about, we have to know your favorite film. So we know, TV series. We know that... you like Rebels and Clone Wars stuff, but if we had to pick a film, which one are we picking?
We did hear episode 2.
Yeah, we heard episode 2 from Alyce. Yeah, so I guess Laura is, do you have a favorite film that your go-to?
Yeah, Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars film.
Let's go.
I have a hard time sort of explaining why, but I don't know. Something about that movie like really just struck me and stayed with me. I think it's probably one of before The Last Jedi. I think it was probably the most like emotional like film for me, because I never really connected with the prequel trilogy, although I acknowledge that Revenge of the Sith is a pretty emotional gut punch of a film. But yeah, that's probably why. And I think the Rebellion's probably my favorite like era, where they're just kind of this scrappy group of people. And then you get to see them all come together in Rogue One. So maybe that's part of it too. But yeah, that's my favorite.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a perfect film. We had this discussion a few weeks ago. It's just a perfect film.
Yeah, perfect according to Mike and I, and then Holly just hates it.
I have no comment anymore.
I just don't get it.
I don't hate it.
She didn't say she hated it,
I didn't
Mike.
say I hated it. I said I appreciate it as a film.
As a film,
I loved the characters. It just wasn't what I was needing out of Star Wars. And that's fine.
I don't know if it's fine. I was borderline saying, this is over.
Oh, my gosh. So it's just funny. It's crazy because I also think Rogue One is just stellar. We were having this discussion, Laura, just the other day, and I was trying to explain to Holly. She asked me, she's like, well, why? Why do you think it's such a good movie? And I was like, it's actually kind of hard to put into words. I don't really know why I liked it so much because it was very different, but I thought they did. It just looks good visually. I like the characters. I like the Jedha connection. I don't know.
It's the way they took such a brief period of time, and it blended so well into, and the fact that also it was created by one of the kind of the behind the scenes, Lucasfilm. I think he does graphics for them.
John
and
Knoll.
That it was his story. He's like, this is something I've always wondered.
It's crazy.
And they're like, that's a great idea. It's just, I don't know, and it was so unexpected. And I think that's why it's always going to be special. They're never going to create another, standalone film like it. They're that's why Solo was kind of, it was a decent film. It was just kind of a letdown because it's on such a high from Rogue One.
Well, Rogue One was also very dark, I guess. It was more mature of a movie.
I think that was a big component for me, too. The fact that it was a little darker, more mature, a little bit more grown up. The score did it a lot for me, too.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
It may have been lacking a little Jar Jar, but I get it. I get it.
That's also fine.
Agreed.
No, yeah, it's a solid movie, and what do you guys think about Solo? Would Solo have been better if we would have pushed it to December, or not better? I mean, it's the same movie, right? But like,
I do think pushing it would have helped because I remember when I walked out of The Last Jedi, I was just kind of confused for a minute. Like I didn't know what my reaction was, and it actually it took it coming out on streaming and me being able to watch it by myself in my house for me to like really get it, I think. Yeah. But then when you had all the fighting, Twitter fighting, all that crap on top of it, I think that did harm it. Had it been in December, that probably would have helped. Or I was listening to someone else the other day and they had mentioned, well, think about if it had been one of those movie premieres, like a Netflix movie premiere or something, because everyone who sees it, like on an airplane or wherever, they'll say, oh, this is so great. Like, why didn't I watch this before? No one really knows why. It just kind of got shamed before it even came out.
I definitely think a December release would have helped because when I went and saw it, I remember putting on my Star Wars shirt before I left work and heading out to meet up with 10 of my friends because we had tickets to go see the movie. And I said to this girl that literally sat right next to me, knows that I'm a big Star Wars fan and sees all my figures on my desk, knows that that's like my complete and utter obsession. And she didn't know that there was a Star Wars movie coming out that night. I was like, she's like, what are you doing tonight? I was like, oh, I'm going to see Star Wars. I'm like, how do you sit next to me for this amount of time and not know that there's a Star Wars movie coming out today? So I think that really speaks to how the marketing really went down for that film. Like it was just, it was not good. It didn't reach the people it needed to reach for some reason. And yeah, I think the December release definitely would have helped. People have just come to expect, a Christmas Star Wars movie now. So,
But sidebar, Laura was wearing her shirt, but ours matched because we won them at trivia the week before.
Nice.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah, you guys won some huge trivia thing there in Chicago, right?
We just run around and destroy people. It's kind of cute.
That was a really fun night. That was one of the nights that we had to do a correction with the quizmaster because they didn't know what a J327 Nubian was, and I think we were the only ones that got the Eravana question right, which I think won over the room. By the end of the night, the rest of the room was cheering for us too, which was kind of funny because anyway, that was a fun night. But yeah, we did win t-shirts. We got a bunch of Solo swag that night. It was fun.
That's legit.
But what's also weird is I'm just kind of thinking back, and I don't know, I used to go when they had real midnight movies, 15 years ago or whatever. They don't do those anymore. But what I thought was really weird, and I don't know if this is just happened to be the theater and the time we went, but when the Lucasfilm logo came up, Laura and I were the only one who made a peep, and then everyone looked at us like we were crazy. But isn't the thing like the Lucasfilm logo comes up and you're just like, yes, that's amazing, and hooting and hollering. But nope, everyone was just kind of silent. It was strange.
Interesting, huh? Wow. Well, I mean, you guys are so you're already renowned. I mean, in the Chicago area, and just, I mean, this is got a couple celebrities on here, Mike.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if we're renowned, but we did have to change our name at one point because people did start to I think see us coming when it came to trivia. So we changed our name just recently to Jedi Mind Chicks, which I think is a win. That was a brilliant idea of Alyce's. It's a good team name. So we're going to compete with that for a little bit until we have to change it again.
Until forever. I'm set on this name that I
That's so
imagined.
cool. That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Wow. All right, Mike. Any other like? There was one thing I did want to ask. I was listening to the episode and I heard that you guys do a caravan of corrections.
Come on.
Is that right?
Yes.
Or what's the? I think it's a segment on your show.
Yeah,
The
we mess
caravan
up
of
every
correct-
once in a while and say misspeak or say something wrong, and because we're big trivia nerds, we feel the need to go back and correct ourselves. But
Okay.
so
Well,
we do a caravan of corrections every episode, inevitably.
Now,
Nice.
I wasn't bringing that up just because of the whole, obviously, I mean, we misspeak all the time. We don't, I mean, good God, it's the EU and trying to figure out, keep track of everything. It's, all the new canon stuff and the mind gets, muddled. But the reason I brought that up is the word caravan struck me. Have you seen Caravan of Courage? Are you guys like...
Check out episode 2. We try to
on,
recap
Ez.
it. Yep.
Jeez.
I missed this. Are you serious?
Oh, we've had a mimosa or 5 too many on that one, and we go over every little detail.
Yeah, we do a
Wow.
full recap, start to finish, and discussion of Caravan of Courage, and it was my first time seeing it when I was doing our prep for episode 2 of our show. So we sat and watched Caravan of Courage as adults, and that is something. But I know that you mentioned it in your last episode that you watch that, Ezra, you watch that movie every weekend, it sounds like, for a very long time, which is really funny because
A long time.
it was Alice's first Star Wars too.
Mm-hmm.
No
Wow.
way.
Yes.
That-
You're not from Bangs, Ohio, are you?
Yeah,
'Cause
did we grow up together and I don't remember? What?
that may explain a lot.
No, I remember in it must have been like the late 80s, Disney Channel, you used to have to pay for it separately. And my dad had some like magic cable box where we stole it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Smuggler.
it's great.
Smuggler, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, he shares a newspaper with my uncle, and they're very crafty, I guess. And
Yes.
but the Ewok movies came on the Disney Channel all the time back then.
Really?
And
I didn't
yeah.
realize that. Okay.
yeah, so I'd watch them over and over, and I just thought they were the coolest thing. And Sindel, the main little girl in
yeah.
it, I was like, yeah, you're awesome, because I'm like 3 or 4 when I'm watching this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just thought it was the best thing ever. And then how I found out there was more to it later in life is I was just kind of flipping through channels at my grandma's house, and I see Ewoks. I'm like, oh my God, the Ewoks! I haven't seen them in forever. They're the best.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't the Ewok movie. It was, of course, Return of the Jedi.
Oh.
But yeah, so my first
Wow.
Star Wars bit was the Ewok adventure films.
That is actually awesome.
You have opened up a can of
Because
worms.
I
there.
was I was gonna ask how you guys got into Star Wars, and so that's really neat because that for me growing up, that was every Saturday I would rent that to the point where the guy was finally like, "Hey man, you're the only one checking this out. Like,
Just
you
take
guys,
it home.
I think you've earned it." I mean, so they just gave it to me, and it was so cool because they thought it was funny that I liked it as a youngster, and every Saturday that would be my movie. I'd pick it out and I'd watch it Saturday night in my room. And I actually still have the original VHS that they gave me from
Ooh.
Boxcar Video. Yeah, from the rental
Nice.
shop.
Does it have one of those like
And-
neon colored clear covers on it, like the independent movie shops used to?
No, they actually gave it to me in whatever it was in the original kind of. It's like a
Oh, the
beat
cardboard.
up like, but it has.
Yeah.
But it has like the box. Oh gosh, what's Boxcar Video is what it was called, and it has the rental. I'll have to post a picture of that because it's in my storage unit, and it's pretty cool. Just that they had it there, and were able to. They did have it in the the take home plastic thing, but then they just once they gave it to me, it was mine with the case and everything, the cardboard, and I was like, this is
Oh
awesome.
wow! I'm surprised they kept
So-
that. That's awesome. Yeah, because now to
Yeah.
find them, you have to. They have the double features that you can buy off eBay.
Yes. Yes.
That's what we did.
Right. So that's pretty awesome. So Laura, then how did you get into Star Wars? What's the how did you first see it? When did you first see it? Do you remember that? How did you what's the story?
My story, I'm a late bloomer. So here's the weird thing. I did not get into Star Wars until I was an adult, which is weird, but I've always been, I've always sort of had a fandom to call home for a long time. It was Harry Potter. I've come and gone through many a fandom in my years, but Star Wars for me sort of started in like 2015 in the promotion leading up to the Force Awakens. And I was at what I think was a Super Bowl party, if I'm remembering correctly, and the trailer came on, and it was the trailer that starts with Finn just like kind of pops up from the ground, and he's got his helmet off, and it was from the moment that trailer just started, for some reason it just like spoke to me, and it was like the weird thing where like the rest of the room went quiet, even though it didn't really go quiet because it was a Super Bowl party and it was a room full of people. But that for some reason kind of got me interested, and that's when I finally went and actually sat and watched all the movies start to finish. At that point I had only seen The Phantom Menace in theaters, and it really never connected with me. I would have seen it when I was probably 11 or 12, but I at that point, you know, it sort of snowballed into getting into Star Wars Rebels, and you know, then going to all of the movie premieres, and sort of getting back on Twitter and trying to find people that I could sit and discuss Rebels with, because people in my real life just didn't get it while I was so into the show. But by the time I got down to December, what was that, 2017, that's when I met Alyce, and at that point I had started going to trivias pretty frequently. At that point I was sort of full-blown fandom, pretty heavily involved in that, and very happily, I might say, even through The Last Jedi, even when things went a little bit sour, I had to stick with Star Wars Twitter, because that really is where I found a lot of camaraderie, and a lot of just people I could talk to about this show, and about Star Wars in general. So I've been a very happy Star Wars tweeter for quite some time. I know that it kind of went sour for a little bit, but that's having the community there, and on Reddit and on Tumblr, and just being able to, you know, have other people to you know, talk with, and now going through this process, it's made it a lot more fun too, of, you know, starting a show and meeting new people and actually getting to talk to people, not in person, but you know, in this regard has been great too.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's awesome. So did you and Alyce then meet at trivia?
We did.
Is that how you guys met?
We did.
That's cool.
So we're both a little competitive. And I had this idea. I don't know what it was. I worked at home at the time. I was really stressed. So I just put Star Wars on repeat in the background. I was kind of like, is it going to be Star Wars? Is it going to be Lord of the Rings? Is it going to be Harry Potter? I don't know. Landed on Star Wars. Had it in the background. I was like, oh, I'm going to start listening to podcasts, and then books. And then I was like, oh, themed trivia is coming up. Like, wouldn't it be cool if I could go, like, give it a whirl? So I started going around playing by myself and looking for all the Star Wars themes. Laura was doing the same thing. But she usually had a friend accompany her, even though the friend wasn't like a useful team member for the most part.
Yeah, right.
But so it turns out we'd actually been at several of the same ones together. We didn't even know each other, or we didn't know, we never met. And then at the very last one of the year, and I think it was our friendiversary was last December. It was cute. But the last one of the year, we were at a trivia, and there's this one there's a bunch of different trivia companies. So it was this one company and Quizmaster who we each met separately, and I won and Laura got second, I believe, and the Quizmaster Jeremy Laura was so pissed. The Quizmaster Jeremy was like, hey, listen, you guys have to meet, you need to talk, yada yada yada. We're like, okay. So then we started talking, and we're real life friends now, and here we are.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That is a really cool story, actually. That's pretty awesome.
Well, now that I know that they're competitive, trivia individuals, I feel like we're gonna have to have them on for an episode of Trivia Trials.
Yeah, against each other, right?
I mean, would you guys be willing to participate?
When's the last time that you guys competed against each other? When's the last time was that at that meeting when you first met, or?
Well,
no, we just this past week we were guests on Force Cult, another Star Wars podcast where we've made some new friends, and we did a very challenging Star Wars trivia game that day. Again, that was us against each other, which was interesting. But yeah.
Oh wow.
Good times. I would totally be down for. I'm down for any challenge. Yeah, it's hard to do sort of virtually. I find I'm just like, you have to kind of just be My whole thing is that I just assume that everybody's cheating all the time when we go to bars. I'm the person that's like, I want to be standing. I want to be at the bar so I can be keeping an eye on literally everybody in the room and see who's on their phone.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's my only thing. But yeah, no, I'm definitely down, Alyce. What do you think?
Yeah.
Wow.
But with Laura, it's really like being in a submarine and she's just this periscope, just like looking around. Like,
Holy
smokes.
The trash talking.
she points at
begins. Let's go.
people. She's, yeah.
That's awesome.
She's
I've
I
never
mean, I
done-
agree. It's people with their phones out. It's
Yeah.
annoying as shit. Oops,
Oh yeah.
sorry.
Oh, God,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I wonder if here in Columbus, if we have any.
We were going to
like
try
that.
to run one at one of the local
Yeah, we
establishments,
were.
and they kind of left us out of there.
There are a couple bars in Columbus.
Are there?
There's just
Yeah.
Star Wars trivia. They
Yeah.
do different themed trivia, like the Office, Parks and Rec, Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's a couple
Interesting.
bars.
That'd be fun. I've always wanted to do that, but I've never really
Yeah.
got out and said, where's the Star Wars trivia?
Oh yeah.
You know,
So you
thing
just
happening,
just
so.
go on Facebook and then type in Star Wars trivia and do the event filter, and
Okay.
it'll show all of the ones if there are any upcoming, and then for some reason it'll show ones air quotes near you, like Maryland or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm willing to
Stop
travel.
in.
Wisconsin.
I'll stop in.
Yeah, so that's how we keep track and find them. It's just
I see.
in our spare time, just let's search for trivia.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
really cool.
Well, we're gonna
That's
get
awesome.
that together.
Yeah.
We'll get the Skype situation figured out, and it's
Yeah.
a good time.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah, we enjoy running that kind of stuff. And then I would love to. Have you ever listened to what is it? Is it Jedi Council. Or who don't they do their own kind of?
They're Schmodown. Yeah,
They're Schmodown.
the
Yeah,
movie
it's
trivia.
a YouTube channel that does Star Wars and stuff. So Mike will always turn that on, and we'll quiz. He's either seen it himself, and
Yeah.
then he runs me through the quiz. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, agreed. I've watched my fair share of Star Wars trivia schmodown stuff, and I'm
Yes.
excited that they're going to be coming to Celebration, and I know that on
They
Saturday
are.
night they're doing their championship where the winner from who's playing at Celebration. I think there's going to be 5 of them competing to then play
Right.
against Alex Damon of Star Wars Explained. So that'll be exciting
Right.
when that
Absolutely.
happens.
Did he
during
win
Celebration.
last? Did Alex win?
He did. There was a whole. So Sam Witwer was
I
the
thought
prior
yeah.
champion.
Yeah.
Well, so when their next championship came around,
Yeah.
he had a scheduling conflict or something.
No.
And so they're like, he didn't show up. We're revoking the belt, and so they gave it to Alex Damon by default. And so now,
No.
well, they had to actually. No, they did have a competition. He didn't show up. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have that again at Celebration. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
So they do have tickets still.
Remember
going
they
on,
were
so-
sold out. We tried to get it. We were in line for the
Yeah.
longest time for that
Yeah.
back when Ken Knapsack won it. I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be fun. Hopefully we can attend that. And
Absolutely.
yeah. So, all right. So I feel like we know Alice and Laura a little bit better.
You especially.
Yeah. I've re-listened to
really?
the podcast.
Hello.
Several times I've been scouting. Obviously though I missed the caravan
You did.
episode,
Yeah,
and I'm really
it's-
disappointed about that. So I will definitely go back and listen to that.
We
'cause
might
that's-
have to separate you guys at Celebration because that's all you're going to talk about.
Well,
is
just wait till you see
Caravan
the Ewok cosplayers. Have you guys ever been to Celebration? By the way, I should have asked that.
Laura has.
Alice has not. Yeah, I went to. I was in Orlando in 2017.
Occurrence. So we probably saw you.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that was an awesome experience. We were losing our mind there. in
Overwhelming.
Orlando. It was overwhelming.
Are you guys
So
veterans?
great.
That wasn't your first celebration, was it?
That was our first
It was.
celebration.
We've followed them from afar, but
Yeah.
we've never actually gone. And so that was our first one. Yeah.
Nobody
That's awesome.
tells you what to expect. We drove to Orlando from Ohio when we start like 5 p.m. the night before, drove
Yeah.
all the way through, got there in the middle of the night. We're like, we'll be the first ones in line for, the
Yeah.
40th anniversary panel. That damn line was already wrapping around the building at 5 in the morning.
We saw it by the highway. We're out by
we're
the
like, what
highway.
the hell
I'm
is
like,
this? Oh, that's the convention center.
Jiminy Christmas. We're here at 4 a.m. This thing's already like set
Oh,
up. So
I think people were
it was
lined up like a
bananas.
couple days before.
Yeah.
I was following it pretty
Yeah.
closely from afar because I didn't fly in, and I went to Friday and Saturday. Those were the only days I had tickets to, and yeah, it was insane. I didn't make it to the 40th anniversary panel because that was on Thursday, but. I did a little bit of camping for The Last Jedi. I probably got there around 3 or 4 in the morning.
Seriously?
Yeah. Good times.
yeah.
Yeah, you got into the panel.
Oh
for
no!
Last Jedi.
I got there at 3 or 4 in the morning, and I was in an overflow room. So yeah, that's how that whole
Shut
situation
up.
went.
Well, we'll probably have to when we get together. We'll tell you the story about Ez just about flipped out. We were waited all night in line for that panel just to get to the security line.
Yeah.
And we actually ended up getting in, and we slept there overnight, and we got to see Ryan Johnson and all that good. So that was cool. But Ez just about went off.
Almost bailed. There was a disturbance in the force, and I was standing in front of security, and people were going around me, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave. Wow. Like I was counting in my head. I was like, there's more than 3,000 people ahead of me. We're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
And then when we get through security, the guy's like, he was counting, and he was like, 1562. And I was like, what'd you say? And he was just, I was like, guys, we're in. Like, come on. And it was just crazy. Very emotional.
That's gonna be awesome. But yeah, we may stay.
Sorry, Laura.
We had a little bit of a joke. We're gonna go stand in line for the episode 9 panel 2 nights before.
Yeah,
may not be a joke.
Yeah, we actually made a T-shirt called "The Line for 9 Starts Here,"
and I'm gonna be the first one standing at the entrance 2 days prior. People will be wondering what's going on. I'm just in line.
We're gonna be partying.
Well, I'll be partying
in line
at the door.
At the door. Yeah.
You guys can bring me some beers.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Oh man. So now that we know them a little better, the question that we wanted to pose is episode 9 the last installment? What is
you
that?
Forgot to turn your phone off.
What in the world is going on? Did you
This
guys hear that?
This is
Only a little bit.
Ez forgot to turn his phone on airplane mode, so that's.
Why is my phone coming through?
It's embarrassing. It's not. It was just
blaring.
Who knows?
But why can I hear my phone in my headphones?
That's a great question.
Oh, the microphones.
The Force.
Oh, the Force that works too.
Yeah.
Shame at Christmas. Well, sorry, Mark Hamill. I'm gonna have to call you back.
Yeah.
Okay.
His timing's terrible.
He always calls during the show.
He does. I know.
Good grief. He was supposed to give me updates on 9, but I'm not ready for him yet.
Yeah. Try not to spoil the movie.
Yes.
Jesus.
Well, it might be his last movie, right?
It's his. Yeah, he's telling
That's
me.
true. He's
I
like,
just
you know
asked
what?
the question about.
I'm going out on a bang. I'm just spoiling.
Oh my gosh. Oh. But is it the end?
Yeah.
Is this the last Skywalker? You know.
Well, I was listening to your last episode, and I did hesitate for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. Where did we hear that it's the last of the Skywalker saga? Did someone make it up and say it? Or was it officially? I started questioning it.
Yeah, I think it was on, like, when the film was announced, I'm pretty sure on, like, the official Star Wars website, they said the final installment of the Skywalker saga.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And everyone out there has been using it. And then Mike just said, what was that you said with the picture? They released
the Force Friday date when they're going to do their toy release and
It's
stuff.
my
And they
birthday.
said, nice.
Oh, nice.
Go get you a nice Black Series figure. That's what I'm into. That's really nerdy. But so, they said it's going to be the final Skywalker installment. And I don't want to believe it. I really don't.
I don't want to believe it either, but have either of you heard the idea that there could be that episode 9 could be a part 1 and part 2? Has that ever?
No.
Bleep, bleep.
Yeah. I think they would
Would
have
that
announced
upset
that
you?
by now if that were going to be the case, but I don't think they're going to do that. Number one, I think we would have known already. Number two, it's not in the formula for Star Wars, so I'm thinking that's a hard no.
You don't think it could be an Infinity War type situation where they just say,
no,
episode 9 will return?
I was surprised when I heard Christian Harloff actually entertaining it on Jedi Council, too.
Well, that's because he got the idea from me.
Well, he heard it from Mike
6 months ago.
Yeah, Mike was the first one talking about it, just to be clear. But
that's actually a fact.
I know it's a fact.
You say as if it's sarcastic. It's the fact.
It's a fact. I'll tell you right now. That's
right.
You can go back and look at the tape.
That's right.
So
I may have been drunk. But it was still
said, yeah.
Likewise.
So I don't know. Thought that was interesting, and then I was just thinking to myself, like, at the end of this, are they going to say in the Skywalker saga continues? Like, are they selling us so much that this is the final installment and it really is over? I mean, can they? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We wanted to get your thoughts on that, I guess. So
I mean, to me, when you look at, or when I define Skywalker saga, and because I'm such a big prequel person, it's very prevalent and just kind of solid in the first 6 films. You know, we're dealing with Anakin directly and him. We're dealing with Luke and Leia. to me that's very, it's very kind of obvious and concrete. But I think in the sequel trilogy, to me, it doesn't feel very obvious and concrete, like yes, we know there is Skywalker blood amongst them. Yes, there are the old characters, but it's not like it hasn't pieced together for me in such a way that it feels very Skywalker like, I guess. So it's not really something I've entertained, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know why I just, the more we heard it, I was thinking like, I guess in my mind, I always thought that it was just going to
Go on forever.
continue on.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there would be an actual, is it just that Disney ends it and then like there's still a chance for it to go on, but they're just saying, oh, this is the end for us now. I mean, I don't know. I was just kind of, I hope it isn't, but at the same time, I guess maybe Mike said it can't go on forever. So
Yeah, I don't think the story can go on forever, but it just, I don't know.
But
They make so much money.
Could they
off
just
of
leave
these
it
films.
open? Could they just leave it open to, the Skywalker, line and lineage continuing?
Well, that's the thing. Could the episodes continue without it being considered the Skywalker saga anymore?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it'd just be new
So-
trilogies like they're doing with
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson, which Twitter freaked out about a couple of nights ago.
Yeah,
That one's so
They
dramatic.
did. I know.
Yeah.
And then the Game of Thrones guys, aren't they? It's announced they're doing a trilogy, not
Yeah.
just one now, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
I don't know. I'm curious to see how those goes. How those go.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
don't know.
Sabino.
We don't know what to expect. But I think as
Yeah.
long as like the ideas are kind of the same, or just kind of, I mean, they can't stray that far. But to me, Skywalker doesn't have, in the sequel trilogy at least, Skywalker doesn't have that much meaning unless they're talking directly about finding Luke. And but as a whole, Skywalker doesn't have really much to do with directly with the plot when you think about it.
Well, and that's what's interesting. It's just like, was it initially intended to? Was it intended to be more of Luke's story and Leia's story and, unforeseen circumstances?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. We'll never know now. But
Yeah, you mean with...
My
'cause I feel like they had a vision, and then it's, teetered a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different. They've had to adjust for sure. Yeah, so I don't know. But Laura, what were your thoughts there on that?
Oh, I think it's the end. I think this is it, and I think that it's going to be hard to come to terms with it. I think for me, the other day when the actor or the puppeteer that runs BB-8 had posted that this is a wrap on BB-8 today, I think that was the moment that it made it really real for me, because BB-8 is one of my favorite things in the sequel trilogy. It was one of those things that I just latched onto really quickly. I think he's just adorable, and I have one of the little like Sphero BB-8s that just runs around my apartment every now and then. I love him so much. But I just remember thinking, like, as soon as he posted that, I'm like, but wait, we haven't had enough time with that character. That we've only had this for 4 years. That sucks. Like now it's all over. But I think the Skywalker saga is over. I'm just going to say it. I think we're going to be over and done. I don't think it's going to be a vague ending. I think it's going to be very final, in terms of how episode 9 ends. But my thing is I don't think that Rey's ending is going to be, I don't think it's going to have a lot of finality to it. I think that that's a character that they could very easily keep alive by the end of episode 9 and revisit in, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We waited this long to get Luke back and get Leia back, so maybe they'll do something similar. So I like to think that maybe her story won't actually have a lot of finality to it. But in terms of the Skywalkers, I think this is it. I think it's run its course now, and that it's going to be new stories from here on out, and it's going to be interesting to see how that is received.
Absolutely.
Wow, you're tearing me up.
Yeah.
You're tearing me up right now.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to help you be prepared if that is the case, which I think it is.
Yeah, you're right.
personally.
That's true. I need to look at it that way.
I mean, if there's Ewoks, then it'll be
Yeah,
okay.
Laura
Yeah.
likes to crush people's dreams and hopes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's kind of what I do. It's my thing.
it's real dark side.
The Sith plots are back.
They're back. Yeah, they're definitely back in the technology. Good grief. Anyways, okay, cool. So Mike, I don't know. That's interesting. I just kind of wanted to get their thoughts on whether
I could
it's
talk
gonna
to them
end.
for hours. I
know.
I mean, the episode 9, I'm not even interested in now. I want to talk about Clone Wars. I want to talk about, Rebels. I want to talk
know.
about the Resistance. But
There's so much. There's so much. I did want to get to one more thing on 9 before we move on here, the picture that I sent you guys.
Come on.
So in
Yes.
Twitter, I sent you a photo.
Come on.
Right, and let's just talk. I mean, real quickly about. I guess we had this image that was released by Star Wars by JJ of our trio. You know, you've got Poe there, you've got Finn, Rey. Real nice, right? Oscar's there.
Yep.
You know, John,
Real
Daisy,
emotional.
It's beautiful.
all hugging.
Emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, did anyone notice that Rey is holding her staff?
Yes. Yeah, Laura and I were just talking about that last night.
Right? It
Yeah.
almost even looks like her original outfit. She's got the original hair from 7. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I like it.
I'm like, is this a flashback, or is she, just back to being a scavenger on Jakku? It's just like,
Are they
enough
on
of this hero
Tatooine? What's
life.
going on? Where are they at?
You know,
I don't
maybe
know.
she turned her staff into like a dual-purpose lightsaber.
That'd be crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Because I mean, and it's not a crazy idea because in Rebels, I mean, Ezra, he has the blaster.
Yes,
saber
that was exactly my
combo,
point last night.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She might just have like a Tusken Raider rifle, and we don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows what we have? But I don't know. I personally love the photo. It brought all the feels. And then when I Eat Tacos, one of our listeners
Yeah,
posted.
he spotted something off in the background. We wanted to share this with you
Yeah.
guys. Just
That's no Tusken Raider. That's Anakin Solo up there. In the hills.
Yeah,
Anakin
so,
Solo.
well-
Anakin Skywalker.
what we'll do on YouTube is we will flash up these images. We had someone else, Nathan Agnew, who noticed a couple, just some of the characters standing off to the side and what have you. So he posted those first, and then our good friend Myron actually comes on there and just says, "Bro, what have we here?" and there's this stick figure that he creates in the back. It just says, "I hate sand." So
Amazing.
you know,
And he's got the
there's
high
a-
ground this time, so
He
Yes, he does.
He learned his lesson.
Oh my gosh! I just thought it was so funny, and so
Yeah.
this is what we do on Rebel Watch. We really look at all the
yeah.
different angles here. Okay, so
It's really amazing how you were able to zoom in so closely to finally,
Yeah.
to get Anakin to show up back there. It's great. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Can't really tell if it's a Force ghost or if he actually is
Yeah.
back from the dead.
right.
Like, is it Hayden? Is it, is it another
Yeah,
Sebastian Shaw?
it's hard to
I
tell.
don't know. Yeah.
James Earl
Yeah.
Jones.
So, okay, let me read here too. So this is talking about how via JJ, just that it feels impossible, but today, they wrapped photography, all this good stuff. There's no adequate way to say how truly magical the crew and cast have been. So when they're doing this emotional, scene here, was this their last scene that they shot, not for the whole movie, but together, I guess? Like, well, where this trio was together, are they, does that mean they make it? And then is this the last shot? Then they divide up here, and then the final third of the, how they kind of film stuff out of
Yeah.
sequence and stuff,
They
and
go back to their day jobs.
Yeah, no, I think that they made it clear that this is the end of principal photography. Vic, Vic
Sorry.
she's the second unit director that's working with J.J. Abrams, and she posted something too that said that it was, because I was curious about that too. I'm like, well, is this the end of reshoots? Have they already done reshoots? Because every film has reshoots. It wasn't just Solo, like in Rogue One, but. I wondered if that part had been completed yet too, and it sounds like no, because principal photography would be done first. They'll do reshoots next, and then post production. But yeah, so it sounds like they're wrapped for episode 9 on principal photography as of yesterday.
Yeah. So maybe we get a teaser before Chicago. What do you guys think?
I'm thinking teaser at Celebration. I think it's
Same.
going to follow
Okay.
the very same pattern that we had for episode 8. I think we're going to get the title announced any day now. I have a theory that it might happen tomorrow during the ABC airing of The Force Awakens. I doubt that's going to happen.
What?
People don't seem to be thinking that, but I think I'm the only one that's...
Shut up.
They made a big deal about it with ABC, where they're like, this is our premiere of The Force Awakens on ABC. And it makes me think that maybe we'll get some in between commercial breaks. Maybe we'll get some behind the scenes things. Maybe episode
What?
9, probably not, but maybe.
I had no idea.
Yeah, but that's my theory. It's probably nothing. It probably won't come to fruition, but that's just my idea that maybe they'll drop the title at some point during the.
when is that?
That's tomorrow. That's on Sunday, which will be February 17th. And that's at 7 p.m. Central. Maybe they're doing their premiere of The Force Awakens on ABC. So that's my theory. I think we're gonna get the title any day now, maybe tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, teaser at Celebration, and then who knows from there. But I don't anticipate actually seeing any teaser or anything before that. I think that was really fun to get to see that reveal at Celebration. That was a nice treat for everyone.
Yeah, and it seems so random that they would be showing this on ABC because I mean, well, like TNT and them are running this stuff all the time. So to air this on prime time ABC, I just that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Disney owns ABC now, right?
Yeah, but it feels like
The Force Awakens came out on TNT or has it, so yeah, it's weird.
it's just weird. I don't know. It definitely then feels like maybe they are planning something for it. Well, now I'm excited.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, so that's tomorrow. You guys said so.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Put
So
it
by
in
the
the
time this
calendar.
comes out, you'll all know that I was wrong when they don't reveal episode 9.
We'll get this episode up quickly.
Caravan of Corrections is
Oh,
a
gosh,
callback. Yep.
Jiminy.
That's amazing.
Wow, my friend. Okay.
That was good. I could talk to him for hours.
I could too, honestly. I really could just keep going with you guys, but we don't want to keep you too long. Gosh, any bold predictions, I guess, just while we have you for episode 9 in general, just general bold predictions that you may have?
Yeah, or here's what I want to happen.
Okay.
I want Lando to have a huge droid factory going on, and they're going to be called the Rebellion, not the Resistance, for the Rebellion to use a droid army against the First Order. Boom.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're all like BB-8s.
Roger,
That
Roger.
would be wicked, right?
Yeah.
That's like half the dialogue.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome. That'd be cool. That's neat. That's interesting.
yeah.
That's
All right,
awesome.
yeah.
I have no bold predictions that come to mind.
What?
I know. I really want to go in I want to go in with no expectations. Here's my thing. I have no dog in the fight with when it comes to Reylo. I don't care. It's not going to make any difference to me it's not going to make any difference as to whether or not I like the film, whether their ship happens or doesn't happen. I just don't care. I don't know. I did have one prediction I think that I talked about and maybe it was our episode 3 where I think that I think there's going to be a moment that we have Leia in hologram form to Ben Solo / Kylo Ren. And I think that's going to be a big kind of come to Jesus moment for him. And I think it's going to be, I don't know. That's kind of the only prediction that I have. And the only reason that I have it is because the first time we meet Leia in the saga is in hologram form to her brother, and I think it'd just be a really poetic ending if the last time we see her is in hologram form to her son. So that's the only thing that I have for episode 9.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I really am trying to just go in with no expectations. I'll probably read some of the spoilers, some of the leaks, but I'm not going to go out of my way to seek them out this time around. I've learned my lesson with past films on that. So I don't know. That's pretty much all I got on episode 9. What do you guys think? Do you have some expectations or predictions going into it?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all we do here.
That's
on
all we
Red
do.
Watch. I mean,
but something very similar, like you said, it's. I mean, if they're saying that Carrie Fisher has a significant role here, I feel like maybe we talked about the hologram too, and like a message maybe that she had that they had recorded for him, for past episodes that they never used, because that's what they said they're using is old footage. So turn that into a hologram maybe after she passes, and that really is a moment that he just. Maybe it's not his redemption, but a sense of sadness and guilt for what he's done. So I think that's going to be that emotional moment that we're hearing is coming. And I would only expect it from Kylo. I think, Rey's had some nice moments. That's been great, but Kylo really needs to bring it. Ez?
yeah. Well, so for me, it's all about Lando.
Wow.
I mean, there's so much information that he knows.
Random.
It's what are you talking about?
I don't know. I just feel like that's random.
What's that? Why? What do you mean?
That
That's
he's going to
random?
be a huge factor in this. I
No.
don't know.
No.
He's
Okay.
got a lot of power, and they really built him up in Last Shot, I guess, to
Yeah.
show his new skill set and the stuff he's involved with, and then the little snippets that were sprinkled throughout Aftermath. So there's a lot of
Right,
potential
right.
there, and that's why I was saying Droid
Yep.
Army. Why not?
Yeah, yeah, and I was just thinking more. So we always ask the question about who left around Jakku and all these different things, and of course now it's basically that. Wow, she's just no one. She's actually literally did just grow up there and came from there or what have you. But I don't know. I think that he'll. I keep looking for some big reveal for an Obi-Wan character or someone in episode, gosh. 6, who just had that discussion about things from a certain point of view.
Who lied?
Who lied? Who was it that is telling us is mis? I don't know. Someone has I guess got us to look this way, and
Yeah.
Lando's going to have us look back in the right direction. I feel like he could do that. There's something he could tell. They could use him in a unique way. Just knowing what happened, not having Carrie Fisher to do maybe a lot of things that they wanted to do with her, maybe he could kind of fill some of those lines, take some of those lines on.
Well, he's a persuasive guy, so he could be summoning assistance.
Yeah, I
for
like that.
rebellion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I don't know. We have other ones, but I mean, they just
we would never stop, guys. We shouldn't even go down.
we don't.
that hole.
What's crazy is right now it's all over the place, and then once you get that trailer, then we really start to hone in on certain things that we see and stuff. So we'll have to, have you back and see what you think after the trailer comes out. See how that goes. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for this week. What you guys social media? I mean, you have all that stuff for Force Toast.
Yeah, we have a Twitter account. We're at Force Toast Pod on Twitter, and that's kind of the extent of our social media. We're considering firing up an Instagram account at some point, but we haven't gotten there yet. I am at shutup_Laura on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm definitely the most active. Alyce is at Slaya all day on Twitter, and that's pretty much where you can find us. Our email is forcetoastpod@gmail.com. It's the same as our Twitter handle.
Awesome.
And that about covers it for us, I think.
Okay, awesome.
Absolutely.
Where the podcast, if you wanted to listen to it, is it on iTunes and everything else like that? I mean, is it where all can you listen to it at?
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Overcast,
Awesome.
and we're also SoundCloud is the last one. Yeah, that's where we are for now.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Okay. Well, all right, Mike. I think that does it. We'll be back. Gosh, we're gonna have our follow-up. We got a lot of comments, emails, and things in the Facebook group that we want to discuss, you and I. We got the big Obi-Wan discussion coming up, right? So we'll be talking about that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Some good Obi-Wan stuff coming out. Some comics.
Yeah,
and
we're excited. We love
novel.
Obi-Wan here.
Yes.
He is
I'm
my favorite
intrigued.
character.
Absolutely.
So we'll be talking about that, and then any other agenda things that we have coming up that you could think of.
Just waiting, my friend.
Just waiting. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. Hopefully till just tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's that
According to Laura,
gets me excited.
tomorrow.
Let's
Okay,
go.
get ready, guys. She said it, not me. All right. So, oh gosh. All right. Well, hey, thanks everyone for listening, for tuning in. Again, follow them at Force Toast Pod. If you have questions, comments, and things you want us to forward to them, we can do that as well. It's been a lot of fun collaborating with them, and hopefully we'll have them back on. Are you guys down to come back on at some point?
Absolutely.
Too?
Yeah, this is great.
Okay.
Thank you, Ezra, Mike. We really appreciate it, and Holly too.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so
guys
much.
are awesome.
Yeah, we'll
guys are
see y'all
awesome.
in April.
Absolutely. That's it. 2 months. Let's go.
The countdown's on.
Got
Yeah.
this.
All right. That sounds good. All right. Well, again, thanks everybody for listening, and as always, may the Force be with you.